green a little bit blue today, y'all, but hey, that's all right. I wore a blue shirt and like because it's in honor of National Women's Day, International Women's Day, and this is the only way I could honor the most amazing attorney in Kansas City is to wear her shirt from when she ran for office. Hold on, I'm gonna let y'all see. So if you need a lawyer, don't call me. Just look at the shirt.
Oh yeah.
It says Armida Dupree, absolutely the best attorney in Kansas City that money can buy. And she used to have a show here on KUAW. So I promise y'all, she knows what she's doing. She's cold. But I want to thank everybody for tuning in for the National Women's Day show. And we have my amazing son, Jorge Fuller for the people. He's going to be here with his Dos Minutos with Jorge. I just want to thank y'all for tuning in and watching KUAW, Knowledge, Understanding, and Wisdom, Kansas City's first global community radio station. We're now the fastest growing internet station in Kansas City, and we have amazing shows. So you can watch us if you're not most likely watching us on Facebook. We ask everyone to please go over to YouTube and subscribe to the channel. And there you see the exact same shows, but at least if, like I hear a lot of people say, oh, Facebook was acting up. Well, you can shoot right on over to YouTube watch the shows, Twitter, Twitch, Periscope, which I think you said became Twitter, TuneIn app, and Instagram. And then you can also watch it on the KUAW.org webpage. Here's the beautiful thing. We accept donations. Our donations go for our ongoing station fundraisers. They are 501c3 tax deductible. So you're not just sending in money, you're actually donating money for taxes, for tax purposes. All my truck drivers who listening, y'all dump the money. BFTAA, Black Family Technology Awareness Association, and KUAW Radio, I advise everyone to go ahead and dump the money into this Easting Village and A-Flat Music Orchestra. That being said, today is International Women's Day, and I want to thank everyone. I got some amazing inboxes. Honestly, y'all, I just be giving out information. I didn't know it helps people the way it does, but there were some amazing, amazing people, mainly men, who gave me some amazing thanks via inboxes. So I want to thank you all. We're going to go ahead and head over to Jorge Fuller. And I want to, International Women's Day, I got to honor Jorge's mom, Glenda Fuller, my sister, and Granny Charlie, because they did an amazing job, raised an amazing young man. And I just smile. I'm just proud when people be like, they call him George, but it's Jorge because you're going to write it as Jorge. And I'm like, sure, that's my son. So they did an absolutely amazing job. And I want to give honor and kudos. You always give honor where honor is due. And I give honor and kudos to those two ladies here on International Women's Day. Go ahead with your dos minutos, and you can take longer if you need to.
I always take longer.
It's okay.
Being brief is not my strongest suit, but I will always try to honor your time. Thank you for allowing me on. As we start off with Women's History Month, I understand that there's always a woman in your life that makes history, even if it's just giving you birth, even if it's supporting your education, even if it's supporting your development. There's always a woman there by your side, by your front, at your level, and above you as well. So always celebrate our women. Black women are the highest educated population in the United States and probably in this world, with the most doctoral level degrees that you can even count. And I'm just saying that because we often think our women are not doing, but they are doing amazing things. This week's Dos Minutos, I was going to bring up Senate Bill 957. It establishes the Workforce Diploma Program to assist students in obtaining high school diplomas and in developing employability and career and technical skills. I think as you look at this actual Senate bill, it is the second read on February 24th, 2022. I think that is something you always have to consider. How do we help prepare the current or the next generation in our workforce? Students are being pushed out of school. I'm just going to say that's the way I'm going to present it. They're being pushed out of school unprepared, ill-equipped, and told that they're grown now. And in our Black community, when you say you're grown now, it often means that you are going to be working and you're going to be producing into our economy, but also you have to go ahead and be finding your own independence. But the reality of it is, our students have a lot more development left, and there's a lot more supports needed. If you have a high school student that is a junior or senior, please make sure, matter of fact, freshmen, sophomore, juniors, and seniors, please make sure they attend the college career readiness workshops that are in their schools. Find a small business that supports and encourages and works with high school students. Such as the Village KC, such as Hastings Village, such as BFTAA. I'm about to mess up all my words. Those programs are providing these supports, but they also help encourage students to figure out and navigate this workforce. This is not an easy landscape, and it's not going to get any easier as we look at how to develop those strengths. I love that we have students that are going. I was just at Langston University last week, and students are truly engaging into next level career thinking and trying to figure out their next steps. But when I'm going to our high schools, they are not able to think ahead like that in their senior year. And there should never be students that are in their senior year thinking like, all right, I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm just going to find me a job. Right. And that's not enough. You have to develop a skill. You have to have the opportunity to increase your resume, right. Understand the importance of it. Even right now, as I counsel adults and give coaching, I'm doing a lot of resume reviews, because when we're trying to look at why you're not getting the opportunity, your resume is the reflection. People get to know you by that document. And if you have not taken the opportunity, I know some phenomenal women who do help write professional resumes.
Go ahead and shout them out.
If you're interested in it,
George, go ahead and
shout them out.
Denisha
Denisha Good with Relay Resume, and Renard Robertson. She does her own resume workshops as well. I promise you, if you are looking, you have to invest in that resume. Go on LinkedIn. You can find both of them on LinkedIn. Niche Good on LinkedIn, as well as Renard Robertson, not Bernard, Renard Robertson. And actually, it's probably Renard Pac-Man on LinkedIn. But you find those two ladies, let them know I referred you, because I promise you the work that they produce helps you get the job. You got to get the actual opportunity for the employers to see your information. They're getting to know you by your resume and also by your LinkedIn. If you don't have a LinkedIn, that's my plug to you. I've given some tidbits that comes from for the People LLC. If you're interested and you need someone to talk to on those tidbits, you can always look up for the People LLC on Google. It will take you to my website, and you can request a consultation. And I am still available for those that need coaching. If you want to enhance your career, or if you have a business that you want to start and you're just looking for someone to help guide you, have no fear. And so as I look at Dos Minutos and Senate Bill 957 and just trying to sum it up, find that way to assist our students prior to them graduating and getting to the workforce. But if you're already in the workforce, invest in yourself, support this bill so that you can actually help investing in yourself, making sure you have, as my plain minds always say, good enough degree. That diploma does help move you through and get you opportunities. It also says that you have the ability to learn. Once you have proof of that ability to learn, you're going to get opportunities in those trade schools. You're going to get opportunities to actually grow your businesses, and those are where you actually see yourself moving. That is what that diploma states. It says you have the ability to learn. It doesn't say anything else. It doesn't say you're better than the next person, but it does say that you have the ability to learn, and employers as well as schools and trades are looking for that great quality Uh, that's Dos Minutos from me. Thank you for allowing me on. I hope that piece of advice is helpful to people. And then you can support this bill by sponsor Bean under the Education Committee, Senate Bill 957.
Thank you so much, and I want to wish Jorge's wife, Catherine Fuller, a very happy, very happy Women's International Women's Day, because like I tell everybody, and I don't mean this in the negative way because I call myself a nerd, but she is like the degree. She's got a degree in nerd, y'all. That is, she's a degree librarian. She ain't just the kind that just sit up there and got the job and about. No, this woman knows her stuff. High level degree, master's degree. So I want to congratulate her again. And she had it over a year, but still, that is so amazing. She's the only degree librarian I know. So that like there, that's part of the what he was saying with the black women being the most educated in the population. So well, International Women's Day, hey, it's about women, it's about mothers, it's about making things happen. I want to shout out Lyne't Designs, Wanda Manier. She made my earrings today, y'all. They fly, they so fly. She's having a $5 to $7 sale. Now, y'all about to see me tell y'all the reason why every woman you know should have gotten some type of gift for National Women's Day. Because if you'd have gone on her site, you could have gotten, she's got earrings and necklaces. Y'all can't see it because everything's blue. I'm blue, da da dee da 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 dee da da da. I do not own the rights to that song, but I know y'all remember that song. I wore blue, and blue just took over everything today, y'all. Seriously. But Lyne't Designs, I want to shout her out. I also want to thank Rebecca Oakman with Wildcard Lifestyle, Wildcard Entertainment. Y'all saw her here with her significant other, her partner, Marquand Gordon. They do amazing things, and she's an amazing person, and she puts her all into helping. She and Marquand put their all into helping as many people as they can. Blissful Soul Kitchen, my little sister. She's doing amazing things, y'all. And so this is my day to shout out. I cannot shout out nobody unless I shout out my lineage, the people who are the reason why I'm here. So my mama, my grandma Gertrude, my grandma Shirley, my big mommy, big mommy, her name was Hazel Lee Sturman, my grandma Shirley, grandma Catherine Mason. Who am I missing? I'm not missing anybody from the grandmas. I'm just trying to make sure, y'all. I already called out Granny Charlie. Granny Charlie, that was my girl. Okay, let me tell you a story about Granny Charlie. And this is George's grandma, but we all call her Granny Charlie. So when I first went to go do her hair, and my daughter was a cheerleader, and I picked her up from school and went to go do Granny Charlie's hair. And Granny Charlie was so real. She taught me to just always be yourself, because she was coming out the kitchen and my daughter had on her coat. She said, "Oh, she's cute from the back." And when my daughter turned around, she said, "Oh, she's cute from the front too." Y'all, after that, I was smitten with Granny Charlie because she lay it to you like it was, and she didn't care. I love her and Aunt Annie. So, but literally, Aunt Annie was my client for a really long time. And come to find out, she was like really close friends, neighbors with my grandma Gertrude. And so that was funny. For years, she was neighbors. I want to shout out my mama. My mom, I saw a picture of my mama. My mama was the baddest, like the most gorgeous woman. And she wasn't even trying, which was weird. She didn't even try, but absolutely stunning. And I understand. I completely understand. I ain't mad at my mom. My mama had to do what she had to do in order to survive in this world. So, hey, it is what it is. I was mad for a second, but then I had to put myself in her shoes, and you don't have all of the help that we have now to make life better for ourselves. She didn't have that back then. So I want to shout out my daughter, Jaqueta. That's the baddest chick ever. Like, some of the stuff she accomplishes, y'all, you would never know she comes from a mama with a good enough diploma, a GED, what y'all call a high set. Yeah, you would never know. But I want to give her big ups and shout outs for the amazing things she does. I have two grandbabies. I have Lily and I have Ava Lee. And I want to shout out they mamas, Blair and Aviance, because both of them did that thing and they made some beautiful daughters. And, you know, when you're a mother, you don't it's not like you don't appreciate the labor and delivery process because you go through it. You're like, yeah, it took me, but you really don't see the actual stress and strain it causes someone until you see someone else doing it, and they're doing it out of love for your son. So I appreciate them too, and I got some absolutely gorgeous grandbabies, absolutely gorgeous. Um, Let me see who all else. All my best friends from when we were growing up. My angel, my Talia Williams. She will always be my angel. My little sister cousin Bianca Garrett, real estate agent. Hey, if you down in Dallas, Texas, and you want to have a house and you want someone who's definitely going to put in the work to make sure that you get the best deal on your house and make sure you get the best financing and things of that nature. And she loves really nice houses, so she ain't gonna be walking you. Before she became a real estate agent, I used to buy houses. And I wish that she had become a real estate agent long before when I was buying them when I was married. Because like literally some of the agents that walked me through houses in Kansas City, I was like, so you live here for real? They're like, oh, well, you have to. My mic went out. They were like, oh, well, you'll have to do some after fix up stuff. But they didn't really put in the effort. And everyone who I know that I sent to Bianca, they were ecstatic. So if you're Jorge, yep, she helped Jorge and Kathy. She was their real estate agent. So
I'd say,
everyone,
can I give a brief story?
okay, go ahead.
I'd say it was about 6 years ago now, and I called her up looking for houses for rent, and she said, "Why not buy?" And I was like, why not buy? And I was able to pull in Kathy and say, hey, look, we got an opportunity. Let's go ahead and buy. She helped walk us through the process, helped us find the right finances, helped encourage and empower us to actually make that transition from being renters to homeowners. And then even after we purchased the house, even after we were in for a month, had some problems that showed up, she answered the phone. And then she called the other person that we bought the house from and said, hey, you need to fix this because it wasn't fixed properly the first time. And we already have it documented. And she was about to sell them like, they'll move back out. And that's how she worked. Came in, he paid for the repair got made, and just excited to be able to say that's someone that you want in your corner because they're going to always advocate on your best interest. Even if you don't understand everything in the real estate world, you find someone that is going to help you understand all of it and then help you guide others to do the same thing. And that I give her all the roses because I'm still in this house, and as the guy said when we were touring this house, it's the mansion. It's a mansion in the middle of the hood, and I'm like, all right, it's not really a mansion, but it's definitely home. So that's my brief story with Bianca Garrett, the utmost favorite real estate agent I have. And here's Lilo.
Lilo made her appearance. She said, wait a minute now, folks is watching. It's time for me to make my appearance. But yes, when I tell people I was like, man, I was buying the houses at the wrong time because everybody who I ever referred to her, she literally, they have great stories like what Jorge just gave us. And so I just want to, my niece, Shakira Brown, Shakera, last name Brown, Brown. She literally just became a licensed clinical psychologist or therapist. I know she's licensed and she's going to school for a PhD right now. So I'm not sure which one she is, but she just became licensed. So see, International Women's Day, I'm surrounded by amazing women. I want to shout out the reason why the Lyne't Gray Show is here talking to you, because she allows her husband to come, Ms. Walker. She has her show called Senior Moments here on KUAW. And okay, y'all, because I watch Miss Walker do things technologically that I'll be like, wow, she know how to do that, because I don't even know how to do it. And I was majoring in engineering technology in high school. That was back during the magnet school program days, where you were treated like a college student in your 4 years of high school. So you were learning the same things that the high school students were learning. So I want to thank Miss Walker and you all check out her show, Senior Moments. She covers a lot of really good stuff. And I'm normally not able to catch it when it's on, but I catch it afterwards. And so that's why I said come to KUAW. Like I said, I am just happy that women are being acknowledged worldwide. I'm a lady trucker. It has been 22 years, February 1st of 2022. 21 years, because I got it February 1st of 2001. So it's 21 years, but it's 20, I got my first CDL in 1996 of November, so whatever, y'all. I told you I got a good enough diploma. But anyway, it's been 21 years of driving. It's felt like 22 years. And I tell people, being the woman, you get bounced around from a lot of companies. I've actually had companies come out and tell me, well, men have families to feed, and we have to keep the men because the men have families to feed. And you call EEOC or something like that, because they let me go, and Equal Opportunity Employment Center, you have to prove that was the verbal conversation between you and him, if there was no other basically situations that could be called discriminatory. So we as women, I as a woman, have walked into the United States Post Office being trained as a postal contractor. I walked into the back to load my semi truck full of mail to take it to the processing center, and had the head supervisor of the Atchison, the Leavenworth Atchison. I'm gonna call him out now. This happened to me in 2002. The Leavenworth Atchison head supervisor looked at the man who trained me and said, "Oh, she's pretty. You found her on the corner. I think you'd have to call somebody to get her to come on in and get her to come on in and get your money." I didn't catch it at first. I thought he was saying, too pretty to drive a truck, until the man, my trainer, lost it. And he told me to just go ahead and start loading the truck, because we had to wait on registers. Registers are certified mail that's like insured, that nobody's supposed to be touching. And that's the only reason why I ever came in that man's presence, because they couldn't release the truck without us signing paperwork. That is something that on International Women's Day, we need to understand, that we're not just, I heard a man say, oh, women get all the credit, especially black women. I'm like, dude, do you know what we go through? We go through trying to be good enough, and we're still not good enough. As black women, we have to be, you can become the greatest at everything, and the most beautiful and the most accomplished, and for some reason you're still not considered good enough. So as a lady truck driver, this day means a lot to me. And I want to congratulate all of the ladies getting and driving. Y'all don't know, it was lonely out there. All the way up until 2018, when I started training lady drivers. I really hadn't come in contact with. I came in contact with them when I worked for UPS, and that was only 2, 3, 4 other lady drivers. I got to UPS in 2014. I got my license in 2001. And then when I met one other lady driver, but she really wasn't a driver, but she said she was a driver and we worked for the same company. But other than that, in 18 years, in 20 something years, I've only worked with 5 women. 5 women. One who wasn't driving, but she said she had a CDL. She said her health took her out. So it is so amazing to honor women on today. And I'm going to say something, and a lot of people might find it controversial, but I honor our trans women. I have a sister, and I'm not going to call her name out on air, who's been trans since we were 19. I don't even think about her former life. She's been trans since we were 18, and we're 46 and 47. I don't even think about her former life, and you can never tell from looking at her. And so I want to, on International Women's Day, I want to honor our trans women. And people can say, oh, well, they're still in our... No, they're not. The ones who are doing it out of spite are. And you have people who do things out of spite all the time. But no, they're not. She was trans when it was not popular. She was trans when it would get you murdered just because. So I want to honor her today. I'm not going to call her name because I don't know if she wants everyone to know, but I'm pretty sure she doesn't care. But I'm not going to do that to her. But so what we want to discuss is the health. Even though it's International Women's Day, we still have women who have been locked up. And y'all, everybody who locked up ain't a criminal where you be like, oh, throw the book at them. I was locked up and I was denied, basic sanitary needs of being a woman. And I actually came into the KUAW studios and talked about it, which was funny because it was a couple of months before I got my own show. And I was on then Missouri State Representative, now Councilman, Kansas City, Missouri Councilman, 3rd District at Large, Brandon Ellington's show, telling him about the conditions. But we have women who are incarcerated, which I call locked up, and they don't even get the bare necessities. I'm saying there's sanitary bare necessities they're not getting. Those are things that a lot of times men take for granted because they don't have that issue to deal with. But we have to begin not just to think of the women who done amazing, great things in history, not just think of the women who are not incarcerated, but we have to think of the women who are in institutions and incarcerated and make sure that they are being treated as human beings, that their basic human rights are being honored as human beings. I will say it again. I'm wearing Armida Dupree shirt. If it had not been for Armida, y'all, I wouldn't be on here talking right now. It'd have been, well, I've been getting out this year. It would have been 4 years. But the amazing work that she does as an attorney and the stress that she goes through as a defense attorney. We have to appreciate our attorneys, defense attorneys, and prosecutors. But I'm okay. They got to start somewhere, y'all. They got to start somewhere. But we have to appreciate what they do. Another thing, and this is what I don't want people to ever forget. When you see women, when Jorge said, we will not allow our women to continuously be disrespected and devalued when they are the reason we exist, have nurtured our education and development. Their leadership shall not be questioned as their strategic plans have made movements that benefit the entire population. To our women, we thank you not only this day, but each action we take. And you're absolutely right, George. I truly That's the one thing today's, and you welcome, Armita. I want to thank you, like, seriously, seriously. I'll be sending people your way. I know you, sometimes you be like, oh, I don't need no more folks, but I'm going to always send people your way because I want to thank you. But Jorge hit the nail on the head when he said, you know, just the simple fact of us being women and the simple fact of us being here. You know, a lot of people have the lives they have, and I know people, I'm one of the moms that my kids are like, hey, you know, if you wasn't so mean, and if you, I understand, y'all, I get it. I did that to my mom until I had to literally sit back and talk with someone who's my mother's age and listen to the stories of just simply making it through the civil rights movement. These women were teenagers getting chased and beat by cops. They were, and it made me reflect back to a story that's why I love and respect our elder black women. Made me reflect back to a story that my mom said she didn't know, and she grew up uh, uh, right up the street from here, and there was, you know, they moved into a predominantly white neighborhood because her mother and her father had excellent money. And my mother didn't know, and she walked up the street to the ice cream parlor slash candy shop. And she was 5 years old, and she walked in the front door. I don't care how yellow boned she was with them light eyes and that silky straight hair. She walked in the front door, and by the time she got home, her mother, she said that she was eating her little ice cream and her candy, and by the time she got home, she said she was sitting there, and next thing she know, her mother just started whooping her really, really bad. She didn't realize what had happened until she was older. And her mother told me the story about how they told her that they were basically going to come down there and come up in the house and beat up the mother and the father because my mother beat up my grandparents because my mother walked in the front door to a whites only establishment off of 39th and Woodland. You talk about 39th and Woodland now, 38th and Woodland before you get to 39th Street. It'd probably be another 10, 15 years before white folks even try to move back up in there. But my mother walked into a whites only establishment, and it was right there on the corner, on the southeast corner of 38th and Woodland where the light sits. That was a whites only establishment right across the street from the movie theater. My mother and her family moved in there. Well, my grandmother and grandfather bought their first house on 36th and Woodland in the 1950s. And so that's what I'm saying is we have to honor. We have to, and I'm always gonna thank our black women because if it had not been for y'all, we wouldn't be the highest educated. Even with my GED, I was able to, like Jorge said, they look at your ability to learn new concepts. That's all this testing is. And that's the reason why we're so, black women are so incredible when it comes to intellect and intelligent because we're forced to adapt at such young ages. We're forced to learn new concepts. We're forced to be able to recognize when we're in danger because we're around other nationalities who really don't mean us any good. We're forced to prove that we're intelligent enough via our tests and things of that nature because we know, and I'm going to say this straight out, we do have some black women who have made it to a point where they want to hold other black women back, but they want other black women to believe that they're not like that. I know several. I know several from just dealing with them. So we even have to prove to our own that we're just good enough. But this is what I want to say on International Women's Day. Mothers, grandmothers, guardians. I was just talking to my son about this in the car. We have to go back to early education with our children and not just little George or little Sam or little Aiden or little Sebastian or little Onward, none of them. Not just them being able to count to 50 by the time they're 3. We want them to be able to roll 100 and keep rolling. And then be like 99, 800. We want them to be able to roll like that. We want them to be able to speak several different languages. We want them to be able to read on several different levels. And that's going to take the pressure off of you as a mother, because we do have so many of our Mother Mary Moore. I just looked down. Mother Mary Moore. Thank you. Mother Mary Moore, y'all have to get her Back to the Table book. And it comes, and she'll sell you the CD as well. When I tell you, it sparks in your mind how powerful the table is. And Mother M. Mary Moore, Sister Mary Moore, whichever what y'all want to call her, Mother Mary Moses, she literally sparked me and my children eating at the table. Right now, as I'm here at KUAW, I just finished the spaghetti that my sons laughed about in one show. I just finished the spaghetti, and I told them to put the sauce in. I'm heading over here, and when I get back, we will sit at the table, and we will talk about our day, and we will plan. And that's where some of our greatest strategies for their lives come from, is when we're sitting at that table, and we're eating, and we're talking, and we're just being open with each other, and they're learning me, and I'm learning them, and they're guiding me as I'm guiding them, because sons are amazing. So I think all mothers will definitely confirm that, having sons is an amazing thing. But I'm just so happy today, y'all, because I got so many messages, and I'm so grateful, because if I can tell y'all anything, I promise y'all this one thing. The main person who's the reason why I gotta give her this credit for me being an absolutely good and loving mother to my children. Her name is A. Jean Ross. Most people knew her as A. Jean Ross, Armor Jean Ross. My daughter's grandmother, her dad's mother. This woman not only made sure that I was an amazing woman, amazing mother, but also an amazing woman. And also she's the one who challenged me in saying, oh, you a Christian? You claim you a Christian, but you don't think it's fair to feed folks when they come to church? You want them to sit there hungry all day? They can't get no breakfast when they walk in the door, but it's a kitchen downstairs. Because I was like, why y'all got to feed folks? I mean, they can eat before they come home. And she's like, oh, but you a Christian, right? She said, but didn't Christ feed folks? He was feeding folks while he was teaching them. So they supposed to just sit upstairs and starve? She said, oh, but you a Christian, right? And so I am so grateful for her, and I'm grateful for, she was so patient with me. She was patient with me, the young lady that was out of control. And she taught me how to be a woman. She taught me how to reel it in. She challenged me. And that's the one thing I love about it, was that she challenged the way I thought. She challenged the way I handled business. She taught me, this was a black woman who rose to the top of corporations, Southwestern Bell back then, and Citibank. You would never know. She told me she had to endure people calling her country and stupid and dumb to her face. Imagine that. They called her country, stupid, and dumb to her face when she first got to working with Southwestern Bell. And she rose to the top despite it all. She came from Arkansas. I forgot what little small town in Arkansas, and she migrated up to Boston. So she's just like, when I tell y'all, she's my everything. She taught me what it was to stand in a space that people felt you didn't belong in, and then come out on top. She taught me that, and I appreciate that. I made a list, y'all, because I forgot. Mama T, Carol Tabron, thank you so much. Elizabeth Channel. Elizabeth Channel was my best friend Talia's grandmother. And Miss Channel, she was, okay, I don't know if y'all remember the Big Blue nursing home on 34th and Paseo. Miss Channel owned that. Granny. Grandma owned it. And she stepped in my life when I was a young girl and going the wrong way. And she was very forward. But she was successful. She had gotten her nursing degree in the 60s, the early 60s, gotten her nursing degree and just had nothing but money. She was amazing. Miss Lewis, Rashida Lewis, my little sissy, her mom, she's the one who taught me how to handle young boys. Because she had two sons and they were just rowdy and always yelling. And she was stern, but she was not this, I'm going to talk down to you and tear you down. She and Armour Jean Ross taught me how to handle, and both of them had two sons, which was amazing. Now, both of them, they didn't play with them boys, but they didn't tear them down either. Like I said, all of my friends, I really want to send my heartfelt love and the comfort of God to Misty Blue, Latanya M. Elias. And Misty Blue, a lot of people don't know, she was a very close sister of mine. When we went to church together. I went to church with Janae Adger, Sean Taylor, the amazing vocalist Sean Taylor, amazing. Y'all gotta hear her sing. And we used to call and talk and sharpen our minds together. And she unfortunately had to bury her oldest daughter, who was her only daughter for years. So Misty Blue, I want to send my heart felt, love and comfort to you, Brian, Mama T, Carol, Angel, all of y'all children. I really want to send y'all comfort. Now, there's this lady that I want to talk about, because I used to think it was funny, because every time you ran into her, she was always talking about Jesus, and she was always reminding you of Jesus. And even when she didn't care if you stand there with a head wrap, she still tell you, hey, Jesus. She was happy about Jesus, and her spirit was always uplifted, even when we knew she was going through. And her name, we called her Sister Webb from True Vine Missionary Baptist Church, Sharmony Webb's mother. And to this day, this morning, the reason why I have to talk about this lady, because this morning, some things that she said to me when I was a young mother and I was in and out the church, and some things that she said to me that had nothing to do with church attendance, but had to do with my faith, no matter what was going on around me. That stuff came back to me today, and I just want to honor her. So, like I said, we have so many amazing women in Kansas City. All of my amazing sisters in Ghana who are Cassina Chase. I mean, a lot of them, I don't want to say what they do, because, Ghana is not as protected as Kansas City in the United States, but a lot of our amazing sisters, they do amazing things. Don't feel like because you're not on the A-list platform, or don't feel like because you're not making Black history in the sense, or making women's history in the sense that people are going to repeat it all the time, because you are. Don't feel like that your efforts are in vain. Star Lovely Bodies, Tennille Star Williams, Star Lovely Bodies. When I tell y'all, she's doing amazing things. What is her name? I don't know her real name, but it's called Wake Up to Makeup Glitz Lips. She invented the original glitter lip. When y'all see the women with that real glittery lipstick, that was created in Kansas City, Kansas. And then the concept was stolen by the fashion house big time makeup people. But they stole her concept, and that started right here in Kansas City, Kansas, where Janelle Monáe comes from. Started right here in Kansas City, Missouri, Kansas City, Kansas area. But they were able to use their money to drown her company out. And it's called Wake Up to Makeup Glitz Lips. So I advise everyone to please go in, and if you're going to buy, get all your cosmetics from her. Whatever cosmetics she sells, sell them out. Buy them out. Because that's not fair to the way that they do our smaller companies. All of our poets, Kansas City got some of the baddest poets in Beyond Pain. What is her, Terrence, what is Sherry's
Tierra
purpose?
Nicole,
Purpose. Sherry
Beyond
Purpose
Pain,
Hall. Yes.
Sherry
Yes.
Purpose Hall. These are all
Go ahead
promoters
and call
as
them out,
well.
George. Call them out.
Aviata. These are all promoters that all actually Do every Thursday from shouldn't say 6, but 6 to 9 p.m. or from 7 to 9 p.m. at the corner on 18th and Vine, the Corner Cafe, or Corner Bar and Grill, however you want to call it, on 18th and Vine. They host a show every Thursday night. These performers are not only these are spoken word artists, but they also host, and they also are performing across the nation. Like, we're not just talking
Yes,
about
and
they're just
winning,
here in Kansas City,
and
and they're
winning.
winning.
Yes, winning
So
across the
shout out to
nation.
them.
Yes. And I want to thank them for just representing us with greatness. But I want to shout out the mama who teaches all mamas how to go hard for her child, Roach Ellington, the mother of Third District at Large Councilman Ellington. She taught me. When my sons were young and in middle school, and I'd be like, he did this. She'd be like, Nuh-uh, you go in there and you tell them this, that, and the other, blah, blah, blah. And she always, she taught me how to always have your child's back. If somebody said that they did something, and she was like, nah, she said, you get to the bottom of it. And it wound up, I told her that a school had said that my son had done something. And I told her, she said, do you believe he did? I said, I don't believe he did it, but they keep saying that everybody got writing. She's like, well, he didn't do it. She said, but you gonna make them. She gave me instructions of what to do with the school. Come to find out, 3 or 4 months later, the school came back and apologized and said that they found out that all of those kids had lied on my son. How did they find out? They were all laughing about it in class, and a teacher said, well, who are y'all talking about? And they was laughing and called my son's name out. And she said, so all of y'all lied on him on purpose? And she took it to the principal. If it had not been for Miss E. Roach Ellington, she taught me how to handle the situation. It turned out for his good no matter what, but the school had to eat a lot of crow by the time we got done. And Councilman Ellington's wife, my little sis, Natasha Ellington, chef Natasha Ellington. She's a bad girl. I watched her.
She's so bad. She's so bad,
Bad.
and I
She
have to shout
bad.
her out because not only is she chef, but she's also been volunteering at Thelma's Kitchen on 31st and Truce, providing meals to those that are in need. So I'm just, for those that haven't been paying attention, not saying that as the councilman's wife you have to do that. That's
Mhm.
not even a requirement.
Right.
She is doing that out of the kindness of her heart in support of another chef that is there and present at the that actually is black owned industry. So if you all have an opportunity to get Thelma's, go there, donate for your lunch, and then help someone else. If someone else walks up, buy their lunch. It's not a big deal.
Thelma's Kitchen
Uh,
on 31st and Truth. When I
yep.
tell y'all, Chef Natasha Ellington, that woman, she was the menu behind the corner restaurant that sat on Westport Road and Broadway. They're now closed, but she created such an amazing menu for them that their restaurant boomed and it took off. And she did this while having twins and a baby all under the age of 5, and she had to take off to be with her family. But I want to commend her because no matter what, she's still flawless when she do it. And she is absolutely amazing. I love my little sis, and this is the Lyne't Gray Show for International Women's Day. Um, if I forgot you, charge it to my head and not my heart.
Can I shout
Um,
out one more?
Go ahead.
Because I think we'd be remiss if we don't mention this poet laureate that we have in Kansas City, Missouri, Natasha Rielskari of
Yes.
Natasha Rielskari Galleries. She is one of the most phenomenal women that you can meet in Kansas
Yes,
City.
she
She's
is.
a life coach
And
as
she was
well.
actually
Uh,
on my show too.
Yep, and so Mama Sutra and so many other of her books are out for sale. You can go and purchase it directly from her store. And Natasha Rielskari, our gallery. I'm just going to shout her out. I just had the privilege to work underneath her and learn from her as well. So many different things poetically as well, and it's just I have to make sure I shout her out before we get in because I'm like I shouted out all my other poets.
Yes.
She doesn't host, But she does. She will tear the show down.
Oh my goodness. And you definitely. And so y'all, I'm gonna make this a point to uplift my sisters. I'm gonna make it a point to point out the amazing things that you do. I thank you. I thank you all so much because you're all so amazing. And whether sometimes you feel like it or not, just know that we watching. Wait. We can't go nowhere without shouting out Miss Anita Dixon Hill Brown. Miss Anita Dixon Brown, UNESCO's Creative City of Music, Kansas City, Missouri, the only one in the United States of America. That's a mic drop. That's the end of the show right there. It don't get no better. I love y'all. I wish everybody joy, love, peace, happiness, health, wealth, well-being, total enlightenment, prosperity, success, affluence, abundance, and a whole lot of currency if you want it. I will see y'all next Tuesday at 8 p.m. Central Standard Time. Thank you, Jorge Fuller, for the people. Dos minutos with Jorge. Y'all take care. Bye-bye.